Let me ask you this. In January of 2023, your firm's compensation committee approved cash and stock bonuses to executives and employees for their performance in 2022. According to public reporting, those bonuses were paid on March the 10th, mere hours before regulators seized the bank. Do you believe you and your colleagues earned the bonuses paid on March 10th? Yes or no?
Senator, those bonuses were predetermined on a predetermined date, which I was not familiar with when those were going to be paid.
Do you think those bonuses reflected strong, healthy performance for you and SVP?
Senator, those bonuses were determined, at least for the executive team, by the board and by the independent compensation committee.
Do you intend to return any of the bonuses you received? Yes or no?
Senator, I'm going to cooperate with the regulators as they go through the process to look at that specific area.
Mr. Becker, I'm sure you're aware that regulators have identified major weaknesses in SVB's incentive compensation program, noting that they, quote, encourage excessive risk-taking to maximize short-term financial metrics, end of that quote. In other words, the incentive structure you and your colleagues put in place rewarded breakneck growth and profitability while need-capping efforts to manage growing risks to the firm. In 2019, a Bloomberg report found that SVB, First Republic, and Signature were the three highest-paying publicly traded banks in the country. It's no coincidence, then, that those banks are now better known for three of the largest bank failures in U.S. history. Clearly, the compensation structure at your institution was not in line with the long-term interests of your shareholders and deposit holders. I hope to work with my colleagues on legislation to rein in risky incentive-based compensation plans that leave taxpayers footing the bill when banks fail. It seems to me from reading the supervisory reports from the Fed and the FDIC that when S2155 passed and supervisory requirements on mid-sized banks were relaxed, both SVB and Signature saw that as a green light to rapidly expand without ensuring their risk management and corporate governance practices would keep up. So, Mr. Shea, a simple yes or no, is there a difference between the risk management and corporate governance needs of a $43 billion bank and a $110 billion bank? Could you put your microphone on?
Yes, and at all times I advocated for measured and different regulation for banks. So I didn't think that a $51 billion bank should be regulated the same way as a $2 trillion bank.
I'm glad to hear you say that now because it's too little too late. According to the FDIC, Signature's management, quote, pursued rapid, unrestrained growth without developing and maintaining adequate risk management practices and controls appropriate for the size, complexity, and risk profile of the institution. Now, as I sit here, I hear you testify all collectively that you did everything right. Something happened because the banks failed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.